Voila!
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of our chat with John and Bogdan. I'm a little tired today. I don't know why.
I am tired every day.
Um, so, guys, before we start in the show, I'm gonna let John do the housekeeping.
Yay. Yeah, just to remind everybody, welcome, first of all. And secondly, that the reason we do Art Chat is so that Bogdan and I can kind of share the work that we've got and the work that we're doing, what's new, what's in storage here. And everything you see today is for sale. We can get it to you wherever you are in the world. So the time to buy a piece of art is when you fall in love. So if you fall in love with something this morning, we can make that happen.
Beautiful.
Great. Anything else?
That's
That's
all.
all the
I think
housekeeping I can think
we.
of.
So the whole idea is yes, everything we share today, it's for private acquisition.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to the presentations, guys, and see what we prepare for you today. And listen, I early this morning I prepared your last bits of slideshows, and I thought that you went for triptych and diptych and quadro and whatever. And it was funny because I prepared the same thing for today. These pieces, guys, are from the retailing series, and the one is called Facade on the left, and the other one is called Remix. And you know, it took me quite a long time to make them from where they are today, because initially they were rectangular like any other pictures, but there is something that did not speak to me whatsoever. So last week sometime I worked my head around and I said, I have these prints, they're large, but they don't speak yet to me. I wonder if I can actually have them cut rounds. And that because first of all, it breaks out the patterns that I have as a photography. It's rounded, right? Photography in general comes in square or rectangular. And I said, what if I just do a type of collage? I just cut the photographs in a round shape and then frame them as this almost like a universe. You know, there's like the earth. There's a world in themselves. You know what I mean? So this is how actually the final look of these pieces from retailing series were born.
Let me ask a couple of questions. What are we looking at here? Is this a digital work? Is it?
If you want to say digital, those are all photographs and they are all worked out in Photoshop, so that I wanted to combine in these shots all kinds of layers, unseen layers of graffiti and tagging of urban art. And all these photographs are taken from Bucharest, from my trips to Bucharest. And I combined them all together. I took pieces from one to another. I kept other tagging or spray paint from another walls, and I combine them together to create this universe of colors, of hidden stories, of not only hidden stories, but stories of various street art.
And they just pulse with energy. And then did you paint on top, or no, this is all?
I did not paint in any of them. So you see this kind of square layers here. Those are kind of a portion of a wall in Bucharest. And then, you know, I call it, it is a facade in a way, but I combine it this way so that it gives you this dimension through the colors, to the graffiti, to the wall, to the windows. You don't know exactly what you look at, but it's a very nice conversation piece, each one of them, of course, because yes, they are very geometric, and yes, they're pleasant frame in a square, them being rounded, and they're very bold. But yet when you go close up, you see a heart painted, or see a star, and there you see a signature of somebody. There's a spray paint. There is all kinds of other dripping paint. I thought it was fascinating. And
yeah, it really draws the person, the viewer, in, because again, there's a completely different experience of this when you're up close than when you're far away. When you're far away, it looks like stained glass. It looks like a window, a dot, a geometric kind of shape. But when you get closer, like you say, there are hundreds of little stories going.
And
this one looks much more
the
like stained glass.
The same thing applies to this particular image called remix, and that's because I call it remix because it's a remix of various pictures all together, to create this almost arabesque mosaic, if you want.
Yeah, I see that.
Or it reminds me sometimes as African fabric,
Yeah.
the traditional fabric, and then
kind of tribal fabrics.
and
Yeah.
then from the distance, they're great. I mean, there's like this morphing colors, but yet when you come close up, you see all kinds of details, and you want to follow a line, and you have want to discover all kinds of things in it.
This is not one of those optical illusions that if you look at it, a picture sticks out.
It does not, but you can try.
But you can try. Just drink beer and stare at it. It's fun.
And I thought those are, great for any kind of interiors, if you want. Either it's a modern interior, either it's a less busy, like a mid-century style.
But look how that brown pulls out the browns of the wood in that room.
Yes.
That really complements well.
And the way they are not printed rounded. They have been cut rounded, and they are literally suspended. How do you call that?
Raised from the background.
From the background. So
yes,
it does feel flat in here, but then when you look at them close on the actual artwork, there is a little space in between them and the background.
And you've actually created that three-dimensionality where there was no three dimensions
before. Exactly. And there's actually two dimensions now. It's actually the actual colors and the shadows that are on picture. And then when you look around, there's another shadow coming out because of the way they are mounted. But listen, if you hold,
we got a big.
I do have it because they are so great, and I'm not saying because they're mine, but I'm really in love with them now.
And they're big, nice size. Yeah.
Yes, and then this is a 28 by 28. And guys, these are very limited. There's 10 pieces in each edition. They're gorgeous. I mean, the camera, it's not that fantastic, but the actually colors are shown on the slideshow.
Yeah, and raising it from the back like that does give it a real different look.
Yeah, and in this case, I chose a kind of oak color. Is this an oak color?
Yeah,
is this how you call it? Wood color, because I thought it's more pleasant for a home. It's more contemporary looking. It's you can put it as a mid-century. There's a push for mid-century style these days, and you can have these unusual shapes that would complement your interior.
I think they're stunning.
I do have some mock-ups, some other mock-ups that you guys can look at, because I don't want to go too fast. And look, this is kind of a more grungy wall finish.
Oh, the room.
Yes, and then look how pretty that looks on this kind of environment. And they can be together, they can be separate. It's really up to you.
We've talked about this before. The fact that when you have a very, very busy, abstract looking piece, to be able to frame it, you've done that twice now. The circle frames it, and then the frame, obviously. And that focuses the eye on that and gives limits to that kind of chaos of abstraction. And I think they're very, very sleek looking.
And they are actually two. You have once the edge of the circle, because there's white, and then you can really focus on that spotlight, and then you have the actual frame edge that would bring everything together. I thought it's a fantastic piece.
And from here, it gives the impression again that there's a mat covering, but it's not. They're actually raised from the back. It's very nice.
And doing this, I have a lot of ideas now on how to approach other pieces. And maybe I can go a little further, add to it on top of it. But that's for future experimentation.
And really, it needs to be that white. That white becomes really important. If that were black, it would be a whole different look.
Yeah,
it would
look.
lose a lot of power.
No, it had to be clean, and it had to be something to focus on. White it's a must in this case. Well, I'm glad you like it.
Do I'll buy it.
And they are available here. I'm sorry. I think this is the coffee. I have an allergy of coffee, I guess. These are available here at Silverstein Studios. We are open today from 10:30 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you have nothing else to do, guys, come over.
Go back to us now and again.
Okay, back to us. Happy now?
I am happy now. We are now doing an advertising for Elmer's glue. No, we're not.
No.
It just happens to be right there.
Look, it's okay.
Great. So like Bogdan was saying, we're open today, every Saturday, really, from when we finish this until 5 p.m. We're probably going to talk about Art Ramble in a minute.
Yes, we'll talk about it.
We'll wait on that one.
Let's finish with our
you bet.
Pieces of art that we prepared for you. And it's your turn. And I think
you had
we
a
are
couple
starting
more.
with a Earthen series now. Yes, I have, but that's fine. We can talk about your beautiful ones.
Yay! Here's my mountain series. I just had a show back in October, November, called Earthen, where I was really trying to explore the idea of the earth from different points of view. One is sand, one is like the dirt, the earth, another is mountains, and another was kind of a creation of the earth or of the planet. So here I have a mountain range, and I really struggled with this because my tendency was to want to add a bunch of details, add snow, add weather, add, little villages. And I said, no, this is about the bare bones. This is about the design of it. This is about the ruggedness and the roughness and just the impression of mountains. And so I tried to keep it very, very flat colors. And there's no shading, there's no shadows. I ended up putting a few clouds because it just looked fake otherwise.
When you work,
they look really good together.
When you work on that, I didn't see the result being like this, but I think they're very pleasant, especially if you have a long wall.
Yeah.
Around above a couch or whatever that is. I think they will look fantastic.
And they look good individually, but they really were painted as what do they call it? A polytech, which is after triptych. They all get called the same thing.
But why mountains? What pushed you to?
Well, because I was looking at the earth and I was saying, okay, what is it that we see in the earth? Well, there's this dirt thing, this layers and surprises in the earth. And then there's the topographical bit. There's the texture of the earth. And I started out by just creating texture, and then with a texturizing medium, and then added color to that and to create the different mountains.
And I see that you can actually, they can be purchased individually.
They are for sale individually as well as together. I think they look great together. I'll give you a bit of a break if you buy all four. And I'm very pleased with the way they turned out. They're not like anything else I do.
Yeah.
So it was an experiment, and I think it was a happy one.
And I think the way you chose the colors, it almost looked like, I know that they are very texturized. So when you come close to them, you will see the texture in between. But the way you chose the colors and the contrast in between, it feels like they are kind of raised on top of each other. You can see
that was intentional. Yeah. The other thing when you talk about the colors, I'm a child of the 70s, and I grew up in earth tones, and I have sweaters with these exact color patterns.
Now that you say that, I think I have one too.
Yeah. And so those colors were very intentional through the whole series, because they were kind of part of my childhood. But anyway, I think they're very interesting and very pleasant. I was very surprised at how well they turned out. They are nice size. They're 20 by 24. And they're all on exhibition right now in our new
Oh,
salon
yes,
show.
fantastic.
And so the pieces I chose for today are the ones that are hanging out in the hallway. That's why I can't share them with you right now. You'll have to come to the studio and see them.
Yes, the exhibition outside, which is called the Summer Salon 2024 here at Silver Street Studios. We just
Just
started
installing today. So
there's a few of us who already did it, so
the show opens next
it's
Saturday.
starting to look great.
Yeah, I think they're lovely pieces. And again, whether they're purchased individually, it depends on how much room you've got, right?
Yeah.
People always ask me, can I buy things individually? I said, yeah, but just please don't take the one in the middle. You mess up the rest.
No, this is that has nothing to do with the middle, doesn't have a middle necessary.
Mhm.
Fabulous. And then my three favorite of yours, which are amazing. The images do not do the justice. How do you call that? The black, the guys, this black around this asteroids, or whatever you call them, it's so deep and so lovely. How come it doesn't shine?
I had to work hard. Acrylic paints tend to be quite shiny, and this black in particular was like patent leather. It was so distracting. But then I was able to put a matte varnish, and that just brought it all back down.
But tell me how they call and what was the inspiration?
The inspiration was the infinite. We have this visiting exhibition here at Silver Street, and it has a space theme. So we were looking at the idea of space and the idea of stone and earth and kind of those creations. And so I created these pieces, and I thought of them, I call them exploradores. They're actually individually named, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. But the idea that they're exploring the universe. But as I looked at these and the mountain pictures, they became more about the structure again of planets, of Earth, of planets, kind of Earth-like structures.
I have to say these are so good.
And so they are full of energy. They are just in this void, as you mentioned, this black. No distractions. They're very solitary and very almost lonely looking. But there's all kinds of things going on. There's some reflections, mineral light.
There's some lighting coming from somewhere.
There's movement, there's texture, and all that texture is just paint. It's a flat surface. But I thought they really spoke well to the mountains, an idea that they, like the mountains, are just planetary formations that have their own character and impact. And then I thought of the word impact, and I thought, well, great. I put the asteroids above the mountains.
Oh,
so
lovely.
It's now the Armageddon when the asteroids hit the mountains. But that's just my sick sense of humor.
These are fabulous.
They're very strange. I'm not sure the salability of them.
No,
I don't know who, but we've got people from NASA coming. Maybe somebody will say,
if you have a modern environment with a lot of black,
I need some asteroids.
Black pieces of furniture around and very contrasty, I think this would add an extra layer of interestingness.
There's nothing wrong with them individually, but I think they make such a more of a statement together.
Yes, they're great.
And they were painted
to
go
together. And you can have them in the bathroom as well. Look at that.
There you go.
Is that your bathroom?
That's in my mind. That's what our bathroom looks like.
How about that?
I never wash it.
So guys, as we say, you can visit us and take a look of all these pieces. We are here until 5 p.m. All kinds of stuff going on in the studio as well as outside the studio. What else is new for you? Still paint those funny skateboards?
I'm still trying to catch up on all the skateboards, getting ready for Comic Palooza, which is at the end of this month, the 24th through the 26th, Memorial Day weekend, here in Houston at the George R. Brown Convention Center. And we have a booth there. We're going to be selling prints, maybe some originals, but these original skateboards, as well as some jewelry. So we're trying to create stuff that might be of interest to a younger audience, maybe people who are more into cartoons and cosplay and anime and manga and that kind of crowd who will be the ones there shopping. So I just figured just taking a bunch of my regular abstracts there might not be that effective. So these have been a lot of fun. Whenever I do these little faces, I just have the best time. They're all individual, all unique, not based on anyone in particular.
About me, same thing. I'm still experimenting with some masks that I have started for a long time, and it takes forever, guys. So this is ready, Lola, and I have two on the floor getting dry. I mean, it has been 2 weeks now since I'm working on them because the cardboard has to be
every layer,
sealed.
Yeah.
So it has to be sealed so that it won't be destroyable very easily. And then
and so these grew out of the graffiti stuff, right?
yes, from that Urbana series. It's exactly what it is. And then I told you, cleaning the studio one day, I smashed and squashed some cardboards to make them smaller. And as I look at them, I was like, oh my God, it is so beautiful. I'm going to do something. And then I move over to take the idea of this geometric face and make that of cardboard and translate it into some sort of a canvas idea. So I think this works great too.
They're so interesting. And again, you've taken something that is being recycled. Now, in this case, this is a painting, right? But it's a collage.
Yes,
it's got some cardboard on it.
Cardboard on.
But it's basically on canvas, right? This particular one.
Yes.
But there's such bold geometric patterns and very pop artish to me. I think they're excellent.
The colors are a lot more brighter than the camera shares.
Yeah.
And this is kind of they look
in process.
As I'm working on. Yes, there's just like they have to see the fan is blowing all the time in there to dry.
So you're putting gesso on all of these.
Gesso, and
which protects them the paint from any acids in the
and it closes up the pores.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I apply the acrylic, and then on top of the acrylic goes varnish. So they are pretty sturdy at the end, you know.
We were just talking with another artist yesterday about there's a real movement to use recycled materials in art.
And it's a lot of fun. And you know, using cardboard, the cardboard is a different type of media, and it's amazing when you paint on it. It's different. The colors are like they like the cardboard situation. It's amazing how they just like paint. I don't know how to describe it. It's beautiful.
And people talk about the archival quality of cardboard, but once you gesso the heck out of it and seal it, and then the paint itself, those things are going to last forever. That's not going to be an issue.
And then, guys, we want to thank you for watching us again, for supporting us, being interested in our work. What else? For collecting us as well.
You know, I've got a little bit of news, brand new news. We had determined that it was not going to be viable for Bogdan to go to Romania.
Oh, yes.
Because they had doubled the prices of the tickets for the airline tickets. And we just looked the day before yesterday and saw that the tickets were back down.
Drop, yes.
Halved from what they were 2 weeks ago. And so we figured that Bogdan is going to be able to go back to Romania. He'll be able to attend the MOBU Art Fair in Bucharest, which is the second time they've had it.
And again, we Aripa Arte, our nonprofit, was able to raise some money this year, the first year, and part of the how to call that the programming we have is to collaborate with an institution in Romania. So we started a collaboration with the Art Foundation movement. This is the second year.
Art Movements Foundation.
Art Movements Foundation, and this is the second year when they actually organized a. Is that a competition? Shall I call it competition?
Yeah, it really is. It's like it's a prize.
Drawing artists, and they need money and they need prizes for that. So Aripa Arte and us, we were able to donate $1,000 to support their program.
Right, just to help add to that prize money into their expenses.
It
And
doesn't,
that is Art Movements Foundation is a foundation that is kind of run by the Shemtovich Benowitz Gallery in Bucharest. And they have this nonprofit
it doesn't,
arm as well.
you know, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, $1,000,
But it's added to what they're
it adds up
donating.
and, you know, makes
And it's
this
what we can
program.
do now. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to do more in the future. And this particular prize is given, as Bogdan mentioned, for drawing, because drawing is so central to so many visual
For
artists'
everything.
art practices. And this is a way to celebrate and encourage artists to keep drawing, keep that element of drawing
Alive.
foremost in their bag of tools as artists.
Let's see what else. We promised to talk about of the salon, summer salon here at Silver Sea Studios, starting on May 11.
Next week?
And that is, when is the opening ceremony actually?
On May 11th.
But it is a certain time or?
Well, our studios are open from 10 o'clock in the morning, but there's a big event here called the Art Ramble that starts from 12 to 5. And then from 5 to 7 is our opening reception for Salon d'été, the summer salon show. It's a tenant show. So all the work will be from people here in the studios.
Yeah, it's and not only we're starting this salon on May 11. May 11 is, guys, a major event here at Soya Yards at Silver Sea Studios. We are launching the Art Rumble that day, and it's going to be from 12 to 7, right?
12 to 7.
Event.
Big deal.
Where everybody, all the art studios will be open, and it's going to be a huge art.
If you remember our
festival,
old, what did they used to call them? They call them biannual or biannuals. So we do them twice a year. This is the big spring show, and all the buildings are open, all 6 buildings. There are food trucks and entertainment and alcohol and fabulous art. And every studio building has a brand new exhibition opening that day. So that's the reason we're opening ours that day too.
But saying that, this is everything we wanted to share with you today. Hope you like the content of this show. And pretty much that's it. We should see you in a couple of minutes here in the studio, 314 at Silver Sea Studios, guys.
We're gonna have a great day. Hopefully you will too. Keep us in your thoughts and buy art.
Yes. Bye, guys.